Barbara Miller.
I'm Barbara Mueller, and I'm relinquishing my time to Patrick Van Dohlen.
Patrick Van Dohlen. Mr. Van Dohlen, you have 6 minutes.
Good morning, Mr. Mayor, City Council. My name is Patrick Van Dohlen. I come to you on behalf of the San Antonio Family Association and thousands of people who are concerned about their water rates, who are concerned about the affordability of living here. And today we're discussing a prudential judgment issue. The last time I appeared before you, it was not so. It was an intrinsic matter. This is a matter that we all want. I'm confident we all want clean water. I'm confident we all want control of our sewage lines and to make sure we're living in a healthy environment. So we simply differ on methodology. We all want responsible growth and domestic prosperity and proper sewage control and clean water. As a financial planning professional, we're focused on results, and we're also focused on efficiency. We need and all want continued responsible business growth. It's essential to our domestic prosperity. Tough times for ratepayers necessitates greater efficiency. And ratepayers live in Bexar County. They're facing rate hikes everywhere, including their real estate taxes. So I have up here for you 7 habits of highly effective people. My question for you is, does it work for only people, or can it work for bureaucracies as well? And I won't read them to you, but the first one's being proactive. You can go up a little bit on that so you can see all 6. And be proactive, begin with the end in mind, put first things first, think win-win, seek first to understand, synergize. I want to give you a good example of one of those successes, and I want to compliment Councilman Perry and congratulate him on his good work. I'm sorry he's not here to hear this, but on his work with the United States Air Force to get the sewage line replaced, the large sewage line replaced that runs parallel to Leon Creek, saving the ratepayers and SAWs and taxpayers millions of dollars, tens of millions of dollars. That's something that's win-win, and I applaud him for that. This is the kind of representation we need on City Council, and a good example of it. Well, is this an example of 7 habits of highly effective bureaucracies, or is it bureaucracy run amok? Last month, a SAWS senior VP stated that SAWS finally has a way to measure the risk in our water system. Really? That's great, but is this new? Is SAWS trying to tell us that they don't collaborate with other cities, with other water systems, with other professionals to finally learn how to measure risk? Is this proactivity? So who is management listening to? Outside consultants, highly paid consultants, internal engineers? Who are they listening to? Does this cooperate with a professional 7 habits of highly effective people? So I ask you, is the rate increase good for SAWS? I think they would say it is. They've been up here saying it is. How about the SAWS consultants, the external consultants that are highly paid? I would say that they are. Are you considering putting a freeze on those rate consultants that they can pay if you agree to the rate increase? You should. Is this good for ratepayers? I think you have a majority of ratepayers here saying no, it's not good. You've heard of what's called a consent decree. The consent decree is spoken of flowery by another senior VP, and a good thing for us to do. Well, this is like me speaking of me putting myself in a drug rehab program and saying it's really good, it's really helped me. The question is, how did I let myself get to that point? Why did I let myself get to that point? Was that proactive? Was that win-win? Was the consent decree avoidable? I contend it is. And I think if you ask the right questions, you'll find out that it was too. Yet you're being told because of a mandate you have to operate a certain way. Let's give them another mandate. How about you mandate a no rate increase and forcing them to be more responsible and efficient, and they'll respond just as they have responded favorably with the consent decree. Is this not a glaring, the consent decree exposes our paying for our past sins. A senior VP of SAWS said that in November 2017. This validates that we've mismanaged our assets. How can we trust them going forward to continue managing our assets properly? Have you asked that question? Is this not a glaring example of admitting of our past sins and the mismanagement? And the consent decree is a prime indicator of that mismanagement. The question is that mismanagement by design? So that it forces an increase in rates? Have you asked that question? How does this affect ratepayers? What do you do? Is it time to hold SAWs accountable for forcing fixed rates, fixes like the consent decree when they could have avoided it? If you think the consent decree is helpful to cause SAWs to act in accordance with the Clean Water Act, wouldn't it then be logical to mandate another through a rate freeze? Wouldn't it be logical to mandate the rate freeze so it causes them to act more efficiently and for a win-win-win where the ratepayers are losing right now? If the rate increase is good for citizens, why the need for increased affordability programs? Why do increased rates necessitate socialized programs for affordability if it's good for citizens? Who is paying for the city council affordability programs that was talked about this morning? Why is it SAW's responsibility to promote socialized programs? Is this a form of compensation to make up for new sins, not just the past sins, but the new sins and unnecessary rate increases? Can SAWs do more with less? I tell you they can. So the inflow and infiltration is the problem. Have them fix it, vote no on the rate increase, mandate that they be responsible.
Thank you, Mr. Van Dohlen.